Chance 93 Sports back with another one. Seems like I haven't did a video in a little while. I believe it's been a day or two. Usually I'm more active, but I've had a lot of things going on in my personal life, been a little busy. But anyway, let me get into it. So I was taking a nap, just got off work not too long ago, and I hopped on Black Sports Online, and I seen the headline for this article stating ESPN removes Teddy Atlas from their boxing broadcast team. And the article states the last time Teddy Atlas worked ringside, it got a little uncomfortable for his co-workers. It seemed the better fight was between Teddy and them as opposed to in the ring. ESPN didn't want a repeat of that during the highly anticipated Rigo versus Lomachenko fight, so they took him off the broadcast. Chris Mannix with Yahoo Sports tweeted, Teddy Atlas will not be a part of the broadcast team for this weekend's Lomachenko-Rigondeaux fight on ESPN. Atlas, an ESPN official, confirmed the decision in a statement to Yahoo Sports. Atlas will contribute a feature to the show. The article then goes on to say Teddy Atlas hasn't been fired and will give his thoughts on the fight on other ESPN platforms. So what I'm taking from this fight is, as far as ESPN, their budget is going for boxing, this is, the tip of the iceberg. This is their one last hurrah, and if this event doesn't do big numbers and successful, I think they're gonna try to shy away from boxing. I don't believe that it will be immediate, but I believe that this is kind of determining if they're gonna keep going and putting money behind boxing. For them to do this, they're tying up all loose ends. Anything that could go wrong with this show, starting with Teddy Atlas, they're getting rid of it, and I believe that they're gonna make some other tweaks behind the scenes, maybe stuff that we may not hear about, but they're definitely gonna make sure this event goes off perfectly. If this was the kind of fight that was, basically a do or die for them, I would definitely think they would have put more ad dollars behind it as far as promotion and things of that nature. But doing this definitely makes me see that they're serious about this fight being successful. I believe Teddy Atlas, the last time he did a ESPN broadcast as far as a big card, I believe it was the Terrence Crawford versus Indongo fight. I could be wrong, but I remember it was Teddy Atlas and Andre Ward, and they kind of went at it. It was kind of like subtle, jabs at each other, but it wasn't, anything like, they still maintained the professionalism. It wasn't as bad as Teddy Atlas just going fucking berserk with the whole Manny Pacquiao Jeff Horn situation. I believe Teddy Atlas was on the phone with Stephen A. Smith and or Tim Bradley, one of the two. Tim Bradley was there actually as a part of the broadcasting, but I want to say it was Teddy Atlas on the phone with Stephen A. Smith, and he just went berserk, like he was straight losing it. So I believe in some capacity, he's in cahoots with Top Rank, and he's definitely pushing the narrative. I felt like he would not be penalized for his antics because I felt like he was just being a company man and basically following orders. But I think the problem is I just think they're looking at him as a uncontrollable variable. I believe that he's pushing the narrative that they want to push, but I feel like he's just going off the rails. Like, he's pushing the narrative, but they don't know if he's gonna go over the edge. I would think that him being a company man, like I see him as, I would think if they had a conversation with him, he would tone it down. I don't see him going against the grain like that, but they're just obviously getting rid of all loose ends, and in that capacity, this just goes to show, hey, you can't sit here and you can still get penalized, even if you feel like you on the man's good side. You can still, just one little move, they could take you behind the house, in the backyard, and give you that little lashing, like, hey, hey, we got the power to do this. And that's what I feel like they're doing. They kind of flexing power with this, like, hey, You know, hey, you sit down, man. You getting a little bit too buck. You know, that's where I feel in my situation. I remember back at the Terrence Crawford, I believe Teddy Atlas had his top 5 pound for pound up there, and I want to say Errol Spence was number 5, but it was a controversy because beside Errol Spence, they had the Cuban flag like he was a Cuban. Okay, and Errol Spence is American. He's even fought in the Olympics, you know, for America. So we know he's American. So a lot of people were theorizing that Rigondeaux was at that number 5 spot, and last minute it was taken off, and they didn't get enough time to change it. You know, so that felt strange. You know, and there was a Lomachenko Rigondeaux fight looming at that time. Of course, this was before the Mariaga fight. So you would think, if you know there's a Lomachenko Rigondeaux fight looming, you know, you would want Rigondeaux to be highly touted. Okay, so if Lomachenko defeats him, you know, you can make a big deal out of it. You know, so I would want, if I was the promoter or ESPN, I would want Rigondeaux as high on the pound for pound list as possible. Shit, put him 2 or 3. You know, if I know my guy can possibly beat that guy, and I could get away with putting Rigondeaux that high, and he is a top pound for pound level talent. Okay, so I would think they want to put him as high as possible. So if Lomachenko defeats him, you know, they can make a bigger deal out of it. But for whatever reason, he wasn't on there. You know, so that didn't make sense to me, and you know, that's just theories and rumors in my opinion. But yeah, man, this is big, man. This is just showing that ESPN is trying to tie up any loose ends and trying to make sure this card goes on without a hitch, because I feel like if this card doesn't do big numbers, ESPN is gonna start backing away from boxing. So this is really do or die for Top Rank, and do or die for ESPN as far as if they're going to continue putting money into boxing. But anyway, man, that's my thoughts. Shouts out to the LDBC. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.